simple story about William Hewlett. William Hewlett is one of the founders of Hewlett Packard, HP, the computers. The story goes, he once got a call. He once got a call to his office. It was a 12-year-old kid. The kid said, "Hey, I'm doing a project for my school. I'm in high school. Can I have some spare parts for a frequency counter? Can I have it?" So he directly called William Hewlett, who was already the CEO of that company, and he said, "I want some parts for a frequency counter." William Hewlett not only gave that boy the parts required for a frequency counter, but that summer he gave him a job to work on the assembly line making frequency counters. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Today I'm going to be talking about asking. I'm going to put it into two simple categories. One, a mountain, and the other, a web. I'll explain shortly what they mean. Human experience is, I'm using it to metaphorically compare it with a mountain. To mean, all we see farther, we progress more because we stand on the shoulders of our ancestors. So say it is all a heap. All the experience people have gained through their sweat, blood and tears are like a mountain. So the farther up you are on it, the more you know. That is why our generation is more comfortable, happier and all of it because of the experiences that came before us. So by asking them and by knowing, we get to be in a better position. But still, we don't ask. Why don't we ask? Like generally, when it comes to experience, why don't we ask? It generally is because of two reasons. One, you're afraid of being a fool that you don't know. And two, you don't want to be in someone's debt. You don't want to be indebted to someone. Talking of being a fool, if you ask, you'll be a fool for this moment. But if you don't, you'll be a fool for life. The focus of my speech for today is going to be on the second half. The feeling that we don't want to be indebted to someone. Years of social understandings and religious philosophies and all of it has put giving in a state above receiving. Now we just feel giving is the only noble thing. All of us feel like we should be in a position to give. Receiving is bad. You shouldn't be receiving. And I for one think it goes to the point of arrogance. If you did not receive, if you don't want to receive, where did all the things that you already have come from? It doesn't have to be I'm not talking about God gave all of this to you, that level of things, just the simple things. The simple love you get from your parents, the simple happiness you get from your friends, everything is something you get. So receiving is not really a bad thing. So, okay, that's fine, it is like a mountain, you have to ask, you have to get. And how do we do it? How do we do it? Because I say you can't just be on the giving end, you have to be on the receiving end as well. And I must also point out the fact that we all tend to think of it as a straight line. Like I do something for you, and you do something for me. But it doesn't work like that. It just doesn't work like that. So what the hell am I talking about? So we'll talk about the web. That is why I'm talking about the web. What I understand from human interactions is that all of it happens in the form of patterns. It is not transactional. The transactional fact that you give something and you receive the exact same back is a bullshit economic concept that just won't relate to this area. You help someone else helps someone else, and it is all a web of transactions. And human relations always, every person is like a spider sitting in the center of that web. Any strand you move, it's gonna have effects in some other part. So as long as you are creating value in your own web, some other strand's frequency is gonna come hit you. So it is not that we are being indebted to someone, and it is not that, oh, we should not be asking. It is about how much value we create and how we are able to receive from another source. And talking of the story from before, the boy who called William Hewlett in his office was Steve Jobs. Steve Jobs, when he was 12 years old, called William Hewlett at his office and said, "Hey, could you give me some parts so that I can build a frequency counter?" So asking gets people places. Asking is what moves us forward. Even in networking events, people hate networking events. They say it's so fake. It's like everyone is trying to get something more than the other guy. No, I think that is because we approach networking events as if we were con artists. We go dressed up. We're like, hey, I'm a self-driven, self-started individual with expertise in fields of being as fake as possible. No, you don't have to do that. From the little I know, it doesn't have to be that way. Say you want to learn from someone. This is how I start. This is a very vague one. It's not some standard prescription or anything. This is how I start. I say, hey, you're in this particular field, right? I'm quite clueless about this. Could you help me? And as simple as that, you'll start a conversation. And asking for help is about those friendships. Asking for help is about creating that value. And asking for help is about moving that whole web so that everyone is for the better. Steve Jobs got because he asked. If you don't ask, you don't get. So go ask. Back to you.
Share it.